Chapter 1. The First Crack. I stood at the stove stirring pasta, phone in one hand, checking the time again. 7:15 p.m. Emily was supposed to be home an hour ago. I shot her another text. Me, dinner's almost ready, babe. You close? Emily, running late. Jake needed to talk. Be home soon, promise. My stomach twisted, but I forced a smiley face back. Me, no worries. Just save room for the carbonara. I set the table for two anyway. Candles, the good plates, the playlist she loves. 3 years together and I still got butterflies when she walked through the door. I pictured her face when she saw the effort I made. Worth it. At 8:47 the door finally clicked. Hey, sorry. Emily dropped her bag, kissed my cheek quick, and headed straight for the bedroom. Jake was a mess tonight. I followed her. Again? That's the third time this month. She kicked off her shoes. His girlfriend dumped him. He didn't have anyone else to call. You're not his therapist, She rolled her eyes. Don't start, Alex. He's just a friend. I leaned against the doorframe. We had reservations at Marcello's. I canceled them. Her face softened. I'm really sorry. I lost track of time. Lost track for 2.5 hours? She sighed, pulling her hair into a messy bun. Can we not fight? I'm exhausted. I wanted to push, but the fight drained out of me the second she looked at me with those tired eyes. Fine. Pasta's still warm. We ate mostly in silence. She scrolled through her phone, smiling at something. Me, funny meme. Emily, Jake sent a stupid video. Want to see? I shook my head. I'm good. She laughed at the screen anyway. My chest felt tight. Later, in bed, she curled against me like always. Emily, you're the best, you know that? Me, am I? She kissed my shoulder. Of course. I love you. Me, love you too. But I stared at the ceiling long after she fell asleep. Her phone lit up on the nightstand. Another text from Jake. Heart emoji. I closed my eyes and told myself it was nothing. Just friends. She chose me every day for 3 years. One coffee with an ex didn't change that, right? The next morning I woke up to an empty bed. Note on the counter. Jake's car broke down. Picking him up for work. Back by lunch. Love you. I crumpled the note, then smoothed it out again. My hands were shaking. I texted her. Me, thought we were having breakfast together. Emily, I know, babe. I owe you. Dinner tonight, just us. Promise. I stared at the promise until the screen went black. That night she came home at 10, smelling like someone else's cologne. Emily, his car took forever at the shop. I'm so sorry. Me, you said dinner. Just us. Emily, Alex, please. I feel horrible. Me, do you? She stepped closer, cupping my face. Hey, look at me. I'm here now. I'm yours. I wanted to believe her so bad it hurt. Me, prove it. She kissed me slow, pulling me toward the bedroom, and for a little while I let myself forget. But when she fell asleep again, her phone buzzed. Jake, thanks for today. You're the only one who gets me. I didn't reply for him. I just turned the screen off and lay there in the dark, heart cracking a little wider. I whispered to myself, it's fine. She'll stop. She always comes back to me. I was wrong. Chapter 2, Whispers of Doubt. I stared at my phone again. Another text from Emily. Sorry babe, Jake's car broke down near my office. I'll be home late. That was the third time this month. Again. I muttered, tossing the phone on the couch. The door opened an hour later. Emily walked in, hair messy from the wind, cheeks pink. Hey, you're still up, she said, kissing my forehead quick. Yeah. Waiting for my girlfriend who keeps getting longer. I tried to smile, but it felt tight. She rolled her eyes and dropped her bag. Alex, don't start. He had no one else to call. He has AAA. He has legs. He has Uber. She kicked off her shoes. He was crying, okay? His girlfriend dumped him last week and he's a mess. I laughed, short and sharp. So you're his therapist now? Emily crossed her arms. Why are you being like this? I'm allowed to have friends. Friends don't cancel anniversary dinners to go comfort an ex at 10 p.m. That was 1 time. 3 times, Emily. 3. She sighed, loud, like I was the exhausting one. You're jealous of nothing. Jake and I are ancient history. Then why does he only call when he needs something? Because he trusts me, she snapped. God, Alex, not everything is about you. That hit harder than I wanted to admit. I looked away. The next day at work I couldn't focus. Mike swung by my desk with 2 coffees. You look like death, man, he said, sliding one over. Emily ditched me again last night. Jake needed a shoulder to cry on. Mike winced. Again? Dude. I know. He leaned against my desk. Look, I love Emily, you know I do, but 3 years and she still runs every time he snaps his fingers? I rubbed my face. She says I'm overreacting. Are you? I thought about it. I don't think so. Mike shrugged. Then trust your gut. But don't blow up yet. Just watch. That night I called Lisa. She picked up on the second ring. Little brother. What's wrong? You sound miserable. I told her everything. Canceled plans, late nights, Jake's name in every story. Lisa was quiet for a second. Then, Alex, I'm going say this because I love you. That girl is playing you. She says they're just friends. Friends don't hide texts. Friends don't choose an ex over their boyfriend 100 times. Open your eyes. I don't want to be the paranoid boyfriend. You're not paranoid if it keeps happening, she said. You deserve someone who chooses you first. Every time. I hung up feeling worse. 2 nights later we were on the couch watching a movie. Emily's phone buzzed. She grabbed it fast, too fast, and angled the screen away. Who's that? I asked casual. Just Sarah. But I saw the name before she turned it. Jake Redheart. My stomach dropped. Let me see, I said, reaching. She pulled it to her chest. It's private. Private from me? Alex, stop. The phone buzzed again. She silenced it, then, right in front of me, deleted the thread. I stared at her. You just deleted his messages. They were nothing. Then why delete them? Her eyes filled with tears, weaponized. Because you're making me feel guilty for having a friend. I can't breathe around you anymore. I stood up. I'm not asking you to stop having friends. I'm asking you to stop lying to my face. I'm not lying. You just deleted proof in front of me. She started crying harder. You don't trust me. That's the problem. You never have. I walked to the bedroom and shut the door. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would break a rib. Through the wall I heard her on the phone, voice soft. He's freaking out again. I know, I should have told him tomorrow? Okay. I sat on the bed, hands shaking. Was I crazy? Or was I finally seeing clearly? Chapter 3, The Breaking Point. I stared at the candlelit table I'd spent 2 hours setting up. Roses, her favorite Thai takeout, the little velvet box with the ring burning a hole in my pocket. 3 years together today. I even wore the stupid blue shirt she loves. Where is she? I muttered, checking my phone again. 8:17 p.m. No text. Nothing. It buzzed. Emily. Hey babe, running late. Work thing ran over. Be home soon, promise. I smiled like an idiot and texted back a heart. Then I waited. 9:30, 10:15. 11:02. At 11:27 my phone rang. Not Emily. Sarah from marketing, someone we both knew from group hangouts. Alex. Her voice shook. I'm so sorry to call this late. My stomach dropped. What's wrong? I'm at the Marriott downtown. I just saw Emily. With Jake. They checked into a room together, Alex. I wouldn't have said anything, but it's your anniversary and... The rest turned into white noise. I was already grabbing my keys. I drove like a maniac, ran 3 red lights, didn't care. When I reached the hotel, I texted Sarah. Which room? 1512. I'm in the lobby. I feel sick doing this. I took the elevator. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. When the doors opened on the 15th floor, I sprinted. Room 1512. Doors slightly cracked open like they didn't even care who saw. I pushed it wide. Emily was in Jake's arms, wearing the red dress I bought her for Valentine's. His hand was on her waist. They jumped apart the second they saw me. "Alex," Emily gasped. Jake smirked. Actually smirked. "Took you long enough, man." I couldn't breathe. 3 years. Our anniversary. And you're here with him? Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out." "Save it." My voice cracked. "How long?" She looked at the floor. "How long, Emily?" "For months," Jake answered for her, arms crossed. "Maybe 5. Lost count." Emily slapped his arm. "Stop it." I laughed, but it came out broken. 5 months? You've been lying to my face for 5 months. "I was going to tell you," she whispered. I got scared." "Scared of what?" "That I loved you too much." I stepped closer. "I was going to propose tonight. I had a ring. I had everything planned, everything." Her face crumpled. "Alex, please." "No," I looked at Jake. "You want her? She's yours. Hope you're happy with my leftovers." "That's cold," Jake said. "You haven't seen cold." I turned to Emily. "Do you love him?" She cried harder. "I don't know anymore. I'm confused. I think I never stopped loving him." Every word was a knife. I nodded slowly. "Then go be confused with him." "I'm done." "Alex, wait." She reached for me. I stepped back. "Don't touch me. Don't call me. Don't text me. We're over." I walked out. The door slammed behind me. In the hallway, I slid down the wall and sat on the carpet. My chest hurt so bad I thought I was dying. Everything spun. 3 years. Every "I love you." Every late night talk. Every promise. Gone. I don't know how long I sat there before Sarah found me. "Alex." She crouched beside me. "I'm so sorry." I looked up, tears streaming. Why wasn't I enough? She hugged me without saying anything, because there was nothing to say. When I finally stood, my legs felt like jelly. I left the ring box on the floor outside room 1512. Let them find it. Let it rot. I drove home to an empty apartment that still smelled like her perfume. I tore the roses apart with my bare hands until my fingers bled. Then I sat in the dark and cried until there was nothing left. Happy anniversary to me. Chapter 4, Shattered Trust. I sat on the old couch in my parents' living room, phone buzzing again. Emily's name flashed for the 10th time today. "Answer it or turn it off, honey," Mom said, setting a plate of lasagna in front of me. "You have to eat." I hit decline. "She can wait." Dad walked in, wiping his hands on a dish towel. "Still no word from you to her?" "What am I supposed to say, Dad? Thanks for sleeping with your ex on our anniversary?" He sighed and sat down. "You don't have to say anything yet. Just don't let her think silence means you're coming back." The phone lit up again. This time a text. "Emily Redheart, Alex please. I messed up so bad. I'm outside your apartment. Can we talk?" I showed Mom the screen. Mom's face hardened. "She's not outside your apartment, sweetheart. She's fishing because she knows you're not there." Another text. "Emily Redheart, I'll wait all night if I have to." I laughed, but it came out broken. She's been waiting all night, with Jake for months, apparently. Dad shook his head. "Block her for now. Give your heart a rest." I couldn't. Not yet. That night Mike came over with beer and pizza. "Tell me everything again," he said, dropping onto the carpet. I still can't believe it. So I told him how Sarah saw them at the hotel, how I walked in and saw Jake's hand under her shirt, how Emily cried and said, "It isn't what it looks like," when it was exactly what it looked like. Mike cracked open a beer and handed it to me. "I'm sorry I told you to trust her, man. I feel like an idiot." "You didn't know." "I should have known. I saw the way she lit up when his name popped up on her phone. I just didn't want to ruin things for you." I took a long drink. "She ruined things. Not you." He leaned forward. "So what now? You gonna take her back when she cries hard enough?" "No." The word surprised me with how steady it sounded. "I'm done begging for scraps." "Good," he said. "Because she's already posting sad songs on her story like she's the victim." I groaned. Of course she is. The next morning I sat in a quiet office that smelled like lavender. Dr. Elena, mid-40s, calm eyes, closed the door softly. So, Alex, she started, tell me why you're here. Because the girl I wanted to marry picked her ex over me on the night I was going to propose. She didn't flinch. How does that feel in your body right now? Like someone carved my chest open and left it that way. She nodded. Good. We're going to sit with that for a minute. No rushing. I laughed, bitter. Everyone keeps telling me I'll be fine. I don't want to be fine yet. I want to be angry. Then be angry, she said. Anger is information. That afternoon Emily called from a new number. I picked up without thinking. Alex, she sobbed before I could speak. I'm so sorry. I was confused, I was stupid. Stop. My voice was ice. Just stop. But I love you. You loved me so much you took your clothes off for him in a hotel room we paid for together. Silence. Then, it only happened a few times. A few times? I shouted. You said it was the first time. I lied because I didn't want to lose you. You already lost me, Emily. The second you chose him the first time, you lost me. I'll do anything, she whispered. Therapy, couples counseling, I'll cut him off forever. You'll do anything now because he's done with you, right? She started crying harder. Please, Alex. No. I'm not your backup plan. I'm not your safety net. I'm done. I hung up and blocked the new number too. Mom found me on the back porch staring at nothing. She called again? She asked. Yeah. What did she say? That it only happened a few times. I laughed. Oh, like that makes it better. Mom sat beside me. Your dad cheated on me once. Early in our marriage. I looked at her shocked. He came clean the next day. Begged on his knees. I forgave him. But if he'd lied, if he'd let me find out from someone else, she shook her head, I would have been gone. Would you have taken him back after he got caught a second time? Never, she said without hesitation. Love doesn't get infinite chances to stab you in the same place. That night I opened my laptop and found an old folder. Photos from our first vacation, her laughing on the beach, my arm around her. I stared at her smile for a long time. Then I dragged the whole folder to the trash. The little whoosh sound when it emptied felt louder than any scream. Chapter 5. The Fork in the Road. I sat on Lisa's couch, staring at my phone. Emily's last message glowed on the screen. Alex, please. I made a mistake. Can we talk? I'm scared. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. Part of me wanted to type, come home. The other part wanted to throw the phone across the room. Lisa walked in with 2 mugs of coffee. You still reading that crap? She says she's scared, I muttered. She should be, Lisa said, dropping next to me. She blew up her whole life for a guy who once ghosted her for 3 months because he needed to find himself in Thailand. I laughed, but it hurt. I keep thinking if I just explain how much I love her. Stop. Lisa grabbed my phone and held it behind her back. You already explained. For 3 years. With actions, not just words. She chose. Now you choose. Tear up my face. I feel like I'm dying. You're not dying. You're waking up. And waking up hurts. She shoved a laptop into my hands. Open it. I made you a profile on every freelance site that matters. Your portfolio's already uploaded. I stared at the screen. I have a job. You have a soul-sucking cubicle that pays you half of what you're worth while your boss takes credit. Quit. Today. My heart hammered. I have rent. I'll cover you for 3 months. Call it an investment in my brother's happiness. She squeezed my arm. Do it, Alex. Take the power back. I opened my email, fingers shaking, and typed the resignation letter right there. 2 sentences. So, Lisa hooped and hugged me so hard coffee splashed on both of us. That night I blocked Emily and Jake everywhere. The second I hit that button, something inside me unclenched for the first time in weeks. 2 days later I was in a co-working space downtown, headphones on, finishing a logo for some startup. A woman leaned over the divider. Alex? The guy who just saved my butt with that app mock-up in like 6 hours. I pulled one headphone off. Yeah. That's me. She grinned and stuck out her hand. Rachel, how you coffee? Or tequila? Or both? Rachel had warm brown eyes and zero patience for bullshit. We ended up talking until the place closed. She listened while I spilled everything, Emily, Jake, the hotel, all of it. When I finished, she didn't say sorry. She just nodded once. Good riddance. You're better than that story. I laughed, surprised I still could. You don't even know me. I know talent when I see it. And I know deadweight exes when I hear about them. She slid her phone across the table. Put your number in. We're pitching a huge client next week. I need someone who works fast and doesn't whine. That's you. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I ignored it at first, but it kept going. I glanced down. Emily. I answered, voice flat. What? Alex. She was crying. I think I'm pregnant. Everything stopped. The coffee shop noise faded. I swallowed. Is it mine? A long pause. I don't know yet. My stomach dropped. You don't know. Jake says. Jake, I cut in, voice like ice. So it's probably Jake's. Alex, please don't be mad. Too late. I hung up. Rachel raised an eyebrow. Everything okay? No, I said, surprising myself with how steady I sounded. But it's not mine. And even if it was, I'm done fixing her messes. Rachel lifted her cup in a mock toast. To choosing yourself. I clinked my cup against hers. To choosing myself. Later that night, alone in Lisa's guest room, I opened Jake's social media one last time before blocking him forever. His newest post, a photo of Emily's hand on his chest, caption screaming, won the lottery twice. I stared at it until the anger turned into something colder. I closed the app, opened my portfolio, and started working on the pitch with Rachel. My fingers flew across the keys. Every line of code, every pixel I placed, felt like taking a piece of myself back. Emily could keep her chaos. I was done begging for scraps. The power wasn't in screaming or exposing them. It was right here, building something new, something mine. For the first time in months, I fell asleep without crying. Chapter 6. Unraveling Threads. My phone buzzed on the kitchen counter while I was making coffee. Sarah's name flashed on the screen. Alex, you sitting down? She asked the second I picked up. Just tell me. Emily and Jake are done. Like, screaming in the street done. Apparently he's been hooking up with some girl from his gym the whole time he was love-bombing Emily. She found the messages last night. I stared at the steam curling from my mug. You're kidding. I wish. Emily showed up at my door crying at 2 in the morning. Said Jake told her she was just a safe backup plan until something better came along. Exact words. I let out a short laugh I didn't know was in me. Karma's fast these days. Sarah snorted. Fast and brutal. Talk later? Yeah. Thanks for the update. I hung up and leaned against the counter. For the first time in months, the ache in my chest felt lighter. That same afternoon, Mike and Rachel dragged me to the rooftop bar to celebrate the new client I'd just signed, a startup that paid triple my old salary. To Alex finally getting paid what he's worth. Mike raised his beer. Rachel clinked her glass against mine. And to never settling again. I grinned. I'll drink to that. Mike leaned in. So, Sarah told me the Jake and Emily show blew up. You good? Better than good, I said. I don't even feel angry anymore. Just free. Rachel's eyes softened. That's growth, babe. My phone lit up again. This time it was Emily. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. Alex. Her voice was small, hoarse from crying. Can we talk? Please. What is there to talk about him? I messed up. I know I did. Jake, he's not who I thought. He never was. I was so stupid. Yeah. You were. Silence stretched between us. I miss you, she whispered. Every day I regret it. I'd do anything to take it back. You can't. My voice stayed flat calm. You chose him 100 times. Now live with it. I know I don't deserve another chance, but you don't. I cut her off. Goodbye, Emily. I ended the call before she could cry harder. My hand didn't even shake. That night Lisa came over with pizza and bad wine. "You look different," she said, kicking off her shoes. "Like the old Alex is back, but stronger." "Feels that way." I grabbed a slice. "Emily called today. Full meltdown mode." Lisa rolled her eyes. "Let me guess. I made a mistake. You were the one all along?" "Word for word." She smirked. "Classic. Oh, speaking of mistakes, I found something." She pulled out her phone and showed me screenshots. Jake had been faking expense reports at work for months. Thousands of dollars. One anonymous email to his boss and he's toast. I stared at the evidence. "You want me to send it?" "I want you to have the option. He ruined your life for fun. Why shouldn't he feel it back?" I scrolled through the proof, heart thumping. Revenge sat right there, one click away. But then I pictured Emily's broken voice on the phone. Pictured Jake's life already falling apart without my help. I handed the phone back. "No." Lisa raised an eyebrow. "You sure?" "Yeah. Let him drown on his own. I'm done carrying their mess." She smiled proud. "That's my brother." The next morning I got another call, this one from a number I didn't know. "Hello. Alex." A sharp female voice. "This is Mia, Jake's sister. Stay the hell away from him." I almost laughed. "Pretty sure he's the one who stole my girlfriend, Mia. He said you've been spreading lies about him at work, trying to get him fired." "I haven't touched him." "Then who did?" "Because he's about to lose everything, and he swears it's you." "Maybe," I said slowly, "the universe is just balancing the books." "You're pathetic," she spat. "Hiding behind karma because you're too weak to fight like a man." "Funny. Your brother said the same thing right before he crawled back into Emily's bed. Tell him I said hi when he's sleeping on your couch." I hung up on her screaming. I set the phone down, took a deep breath, and felt something settle inside me. They were unraveling, and I was already whole. Chapter 7, Rising from Ashes. I flexed in the gym mirror, sweat dripping, chest bigger than it had ever been. 6 months ago I couldn't even look at myself. Now I liked what I saw. "Bro, you're a different man," Mike said, my spotter, said, racking the bar. "Emily wouldn't recognize you." "Good," I grunted, sitting up. "I don't want her to." My phone buzzed. "Rachel. Rachel, drinks tonight? New rooftop bar. You promised." "Me? I'll be there. 9 sharp." I smiled. That was new, smiling without forcing it. Later that week I was in Dr. Elena's office, feet up on the couch like always. "So," she said, pen ready, "how does the anger feel now?" "Smaller," I said. "Like a pebble in my shoe instead of a knife in my back." She nodded. "And when you think about her?" "I think about me," I said. "That's the difference." She smiled like I'd just aced a test. Friday evening I flew to Barcelona alone. First stamp in the new passport. I sent Mike a selfie from the beach. "Mike, living the life Emily thought she'd have with you, huh?" "Me, exactly." When I got back, Mr. Harris, my biggest client, was waiting in the cafe downstairs from my new office. "Alex," he boomed, standing to hug me. "Look at you. Whatever you're doing, bottle it." I laughed. Just stopped letting people rent space in my head for free. We talked business. He offered to invest in my app. By the time we finished coffee, he was calling me son, and I didn't hate it. That same afternoon, fate, or karma, decided to be dramatic. I walked into my usual coffee shop and there she was. Emily. Hair messy, eyes red, clutching a to-go cup like it was the only thing holding her together. She saw me and froze. "Alex," her voice cracked. Kept my face blank. "Emily." She stepped closer, tears already falling. "You look amazing." "Thanks." I lost my job," she blurted. "Jake left me with all his debts. He just disappeared. I have nothing left." I sipped my coffee. "That sounds hard." She laughed, bitter and broken. "Hard? I ruined everything. I chose him 100 times and he didn't choose me once." She reached for my arm. "I was so stupid. I miss you every single day. Please, can we talk?" Can we try again? I looked at her hand on my sleeve, then at her face. 6 months ago those tears would have destroyed me. Now they just looked wet. Emily, I said calm, I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. But I love. You didn't love me, I cut in, gentle but firm. You loved the idea of having me as backup. I was the safe choice until the dangerous one looked shiny again. I'm nobody's second place anymore. Her mouth opened, closed. No words. I hope you figure your life out, I said. I really do. But it won't be with me. I stepped around her. Alex, wait. I didn't. That night I met Rachel on the rooftop. City lights everywhere, music low, her smile bright. You okay? She asked, handing me a drink. You look like you saw a ghost. I did, I said. But ghosts can't touch me anymore. She tilted her head. What do you want now, Alex? I looked at the skyline, felt the warm night air, felt alive. I want everything I was too scared to take when I was busy begging someone to stay. Rachel clinked her glass against mine. Then let's go get it. Later, back in my apartment, I pulled out the shoebox of old photos. Me and Emily smiling in stupid poses, plane tickets from trips, the promise ring she never wore. I carried the box to the balcony, lit the small metal fire pit I bought last month, and dropped the pictures in one by one. The flames ate 3 years in 10 minutes. I watched until there was nothing left but ash. Then I went inside, closed the door, and didn't look back. Chapter 8. The Bitter Truth. My phone buzzed on the kitchen counter while I was making coffee. A known number. I almost ignored it, but something made me pick up. Alex. Emily's voice cracked like thin ice. Please don't hang up. I stayed quiet. I know I don't deserve even a second of your time, she rushed out, but I mailed you something yesterday. A letter. Did you get it? It's on the table, I said. Haven't opened it yet. Please read it. I'm not asking for anything. I just read it. Emily, I'm living in my car, Alex. Her words came out small and broken. Jake's in jail. Fraud charges. Someone sent proof to his company and the police. Everything's gone. I closed my eyes. I heard. You heard? A bitter laugh. Of course you heard. Everyone heard. His own sister turned on him. Mia? Best surprised. Yeah. She found out he'd been stealing from their mom's savings for years. She went straight to the detectives. Said she was done protecting him. Emily sniffled. I didn't know any of it. I swear. I didn't answer. Alex, I was so stupid. I threw away the only person who ever really loved me. I keep replaying every time I chose him over you. 100 times. And now, her voice shattered. Now I have nothing. Silence stretched between us. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know sorry doesn't fix it. I just needed you to hear it from me. I exhaled. Take care of yourself, Emily. I hung up before she could say more. 10 minutes later, Mom, Dad, and Lisa showed up with pizza, our Sunday tradition that never stopped, even after everything. Lisa dropped the boxes on the counter and hugged me hard. You okay? You look like you saw a ghost. Emily just called, I said. Dad's eyebrows shot up. What did she want? To tell me she's living in her car and Jake's going to prison. Mom set down the plates slowly. How did that make you feel? I thought about it. Empty. Not happy, not angry. Just empty. Lisa grabbed a slice. Good. Empty is better than bleeding. Dad sat across from me. You send that tip, son? I met his eyes. Does it matter? He studied me for a long second, then nodded once. No. I guess it doesn't. Lisa leaned forward. Sarah texted me this morning. Said Emily showed up at her door last week begging for a couch. Sarah told her no. Said, you made your bed with a liar, now sleep in your car. Cold but fair. I almost smiled. Sarah always was blunt. Mom reached over and squeezed my hand. You're allowed to feel pity, Alex. Doesn't mean you owe her anything. I know, I said. I do pity her. But I don't miss her. Lisa raised her soda can. To never being someone's 100th choice. We clinked drinks. Later that night, I finally opened the letter. 8 pages. Her handwriting shaky, ink smudged from tears. She wrote about every time she canceled on me for him. Every lie. Every night she came home smelling like his cologne. She wrote that she hated herself more than I ever could. That seeing me thrive while her life fell apart was the worst punishment imaginable. The last line, "You were never mine to lose. You were always belonged to someone who would choose you first. I hope she knows how lucky she is." I folded the letter, slipped it back into the envelope, and dropped it in the trash. My phone lit up again, this time a text from Rachel. "Dinner tomorrow? I found a new place with the spicy noodles you like." I smiled and typed back, "It's a date." I turned off the lights, looked around my new apartment. Mine, paid for with my own company, decorated the way I wanted, and felt something settle in my chest. Not revenge. Not even justice. Just peace. Chapter 9. A New Dawn. I stood on the balcony of my new apartment, phone in hand, watching the little counter climb past 500,000 downloads. The notification sound kept pinging like crazy. "Alex, you seeing this?" Rachel's voice came through the speaker, laughing and breathless. "We just hit 500,000. 500,000 people are using the app we built in my crappy living room 6 months ago." I grinned so wide my face hurt. "Told you the update would break the charts. Open the champagne I left in your fridge." "Already did. Get over here, Mr. Millionaire. We're celebrating tonight. Give me 30 minutes. I hung up and looked at the city lights below. For the first time in years, my chest didn't ache when I breathed. The doorbell rang. I frowned. Rachel had a key and Mike was out of town. I opened the door and froze. Emily stood there, thinner than I remembered, hair pulled back, eyes red and swollen. In her hand was the engagement ring I'd given her 2 years ago. "Hi," she whispered. I didn't move. "What are you doing here?" "I heard about the app. Congratulations." Her voice cracked. "I just wanted to give this back. I found it in a box when I was packing." I took the ring, felt nothing. "Thanks." She swallowed hard. "Alex, don't." I cut her off gently. "There's nothing left to say. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Jake's gone. I lost the apartment, I lost everything, and I finally see. You didn't lose everything. You threw it away. One choice at a time." I met her eyes. 100 times, actually. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I just needed you to hear it once. I was stupid and selfish and I hurt the best person I ever had." I nodded slowly. "Yeah, you did." She wiped her face. "Are you happy now?" I thought about Rachel waiting for me with cold champagne. About Mike texting me memes at 3 a.m. About Lisa screaming when the first check hit my account. About waking up without that knot in my stomach. I said, "really happy." Emily gave a tiny, broken smile. "But you deserve that." She turned to leave. I called after her, almost on instinct. "Emily." She looked back. "Take care of yourself, okay?" She nodded, crying harder, and walked away. I closed the door, slipped the ring into my pocket, and headed downstairs. On the way out, I dropped it into the donation box by the mailbox. Someone else could use it for a better story. When I got to Rachel's place, she opened the door in my old hoodie, barefoot, holding 2 glasses. "Took you long enough," she teased. "Had to return something that didn't belong to me anymore." She raised an eyebrow. "Everything okay?" I pulled her close and kissed her. "Everything's perfect." Later, lying on her couch, her head on my chest, I stared at the ceiling and smiled. Emily thought she chose her ex over me 100 times. She never understood the truth. I was never hers to lose. I was always mine to find. And I finally did.